Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnik Sports Update powered by Budweiser. So NASCAR really has gotten down to full swing for the Daytona 500. It comes up the 26th, which is a week from Sunday, but this really is speed weeks. They've kind of condensed it into just 10 days. Media day was Thursday. They'll practice on Friday. Saturday is the Bud Shootout, where the guys who are in it really have an advantage because they, even though the cars are set up differently, they get to run with other cars. They get to kind of test the setup, see what the track is like this year, find out what they've got on their cars. And that's basically limited to the drivers who won poles last year, plus other winners and other guys that are put in there. But not everybody. At least the stars of the sport will have a chance to get out on the track and run in the Bud Shootout on Saturday night. There's a bunch of practice, and we'll find out whether this year the cars will run better by themselves, drafted with just one other car, or maybe three cars, or are they going to go back to those long trains that they had when they started restrictor plate racing at Daytona and also, obviously, at Talladega. All of that will be fleshed out next week. What's strange is that the track is dark on Tuesday and Wednesday. They'll be back to practice, Monday and Tuesday. The track is then back open on Wednesday for practice. Thursday is the dual qualifying races, Friday the truck race, Saturday the nationwide race. The Great American Race starts at 1 o'clock. That's the broadcast time on the following Sunday, February the 26th. All the stars are back, and Danica Patrick is driving in the Daytona 500 this year. Not one of the ancillary race. She'll drive in the big race, the Daytona 500 this year. This weekend, both Florida and Florida State are in action. The Gators travel to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks, who are a young and not a really good team, but they're pretty effective at home. And Florida's coming off a win on the road at Alabama, so they need to have that same intensity that they had in the second half. Arkansas is coming off that loss just on Wednesday night. So it'll be an interesting game again for a Billy Donovan team that he says that hasn't been hardened, isn't really tough enough, and doesn't have that kind of maturity that they need to make any kind of a statement into the even the conference tournament, let alone the NCAAs. Florida State, on the other hand, continues to play very well defensively. They win. They come back against Virginia Tech at home, and they end up winning on a last-second shot by Michael Snare. Good, solid comeback. But remember, the game was 48-47. That means defensively, Florida State continues to rely on Bernard James and Snare and those guys to really lock down the other team and not let them score a bunch of points, even when they're not having a good shooting night. Florida State's on the road at NC State this coming Saturday. And next Tuesday, the 22nd, is when the Combine begins at Indianapolis. And that's when the entire scouting staff and most of the coaching staff will go back to Indianapolis to take a look at selected players who have made themselves eligible for the NFL draft. It's invited players, usually about 350 guys there. It's televised by the NFL Network, so you get kind of a good look at what's going on there. The important thing is, don't be fooled by a workout warrior who shows up at the Combine with either a great 40 time or a great shuttle box time or a bunch of reps, because there is the history of the NFL since the Combine is littered with guys who came in and wowed people at the Combine but turned out to be not so good football players. That's the Jaguars claim they're looking for. I'm Sam Kavaris. That's the Nimnik Sports Update powered by Budweiser.